Hey guys, thank you for joining me. So really excited today because I'm going to try out my rocket stove, which is this little guy right here. Super easy to build. All you need is, I think it was 21 or 26 fire bricks, and it's important for them to be fire bricks because they can withstand heat. And this rocket stove can fire up and create a really great heat for cooking, and you don't need any fuel, you don't need any electricity. All you need is a little bit of firewood, and really small firewood at that. So you could use twigs. Obviously there's snow on the ground, so I had been preparing for this when it was still a little bit warmer out and no snow on the ground. So I've got some firewood and some branches and all that I'm going to be bringing out. First thing I had to do was to get all of the snow out of the inside because it was piled up pretty high. We got like 2 feet of snow over the past couple weeks, and it's really beautiful, so I love it. No complaints here. But I want to try out the rocket stove today. I haven't used it since there's been snow on the ground, and got this big pot, which was actually part of a turkey fryer, but I just pulled out. There's like a little strainer that goes in there for the turkey. I took that away, and now I'm just going to boil a big pot of water. Probably won't fill up the whole thing because I don't know how long that would take, but I'm gonna get a lot of hot water. I've got dishes I need to wash, and I'd like to wash my hair today because I'm going to be visiting my family, and tonight is the Great Conjunction. This is December 21st, so Saturn and Jupiter are going to be lining up. I think it's almost exactly within 1 degree of each other, and this is an event that happens once every 3,300 years, I believe. You probably have heard about it. So we're going to be together as a family tonight to try and witness that. And yeah, so I got to wash my hair. If you are just tuning in for the first time, I live on 27 acres. I left New York City this past summer, and I'm living in Michigan now. I am living in a little cabin. It's actually technically a gazebo, but it's fully insulated and enclosed. It's got a propane fireplace, but it doesn't have running water. It does not have a kitchen or a bathroom. It's just one room, and it was never intended for full-time living, but I'm making it work. So I'm going to go and grab some of my firewood. Probably gonna have to chop it up into smaller pieces, and we'll see if we can get this working. Okay, so I've got some firewood. As you can see, it's really small. It does not take a lot to fire this up. Now, if you hear some squeaking, that's because my brother lives nearby, and his dog has decided to come over and visit. So he's a really sweet dog, and he's playing with his toy. Okay, so, but I want to get this done for you because I've been wanting to show you guys the rocket stove for a long time. And today is the day that I really need it. So we're going to put some of this firewood down in this little slot here. Now there's another vent on the other side, which I will show you in just a little bit. But I'm going to put some of this firewood. I don't know if it's going to work because there was, you know, several inches of snow piled up, which I cleared out. But I don't know how it's going to work since it's a little bit wet in there. We'll see. Hi, Marshall. You want to give him a shot? Hold on. All right. We're going to save one of these guys. Together. All right, gonna put that in there. Put that on top for now. And I forgot my fire starter, so I'll be right back. Come here, Marshall. No? Okay, he's camera shy. Okay, so I've got a couple of things that I'm going to use to start the fire. Now, hopefully I won't need to use this. This is some tumbleweed that I picked up at Lowe's. I will use that if I need to. I'm just trying to save it until it's like really, really necessary. However, what I do have is something I'm excited to show you. So I know a lot of people, if you ask them how would you start a fire if you needed to start a campfire or something like that, and they would probably say they would start it with a torch. Well, I don't have a torch, and there might be a situation where even if you do have a torch somewhere, you might have to start a fire without it because you can't get to it. But if you can get to some cotton balls and Vaseline, this is a wonderful way to start a fire, and a lot of people have this stuff around in their bathrooms or whatever. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and we'll see if it works. So you just take a little cotton ball. I just basically rub it against the top of the Vaseline. You can get it like, you don't gob it up or anything, but you can put a decent amount on there. So what I'm going to do, I'll set this here. I'm going to put the cotton ball at the end of this little stick. Okay, we got another one. I'll probably need to use another one as well, but we'll see. All right, I've got some matches, and I'll get those lined up. I don't know. It's been a while since I've started. Whoops. Well, that's probably not going to work now, but let's just see if it does. Let's see what we can do. Whoop. All right. See that? Starting fire pretty well. Okay. Let's put it in there. And now, what I'm going to do, before I start that, I'm going to go get just a few more sticks because I'll probably need it. I'll be back. Okay, so got a few more sticks. These are a bit thick, so I am going to try out this little guy, which I haven't done before. I'm going to put it just right here. No, that won't be smart, will it? I'll move this stuff and use the cinder block. Those are my hummingbird feeders that used to be my dad's, and he passed away several years ago, and I love feeding the birds because that was something he enjoyed doing, so I feel like I'm honoring him a little. Anyway, I need to put them away. So let's see, I'm going to be very careful here. No, I do not know how to do that, so I'm not going to mess with it. Nah, not going to mess with it. Let's see, get my Q-tip. Put just a little bit more there. Okay. If you didn't have a cotton ball, you could probably use, well, the thing about paper is that it just burns really quickly. It doesn't really hold a flame that often. But if you had some sawdust or anything that's like papery material but cut up into small pieces. All right, let's see. Nope. So if I was in a survival situation, I just would have completely wasted a very important match. Let's try this again. So that's one thing that I highly recommend doing right now is stocking up on matches. Have some in your home and in your car. Maybe a few secret places. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. I am going to use the tumbleweed. Just so we can get this going. Alright, that should create a pretty good fire. Oh yes. Oh yeah, that's going. That's great. I'm gonna drop another cotton ball in here. There we go. So matches, cotton balls, and Vaseline are some things I recommend on stocking up on. So what I'm gonna do, got the fire going. Hopefully it really catches fire and keeps on. What I'm gonna do is get the pot. Try to wipe this off as much as possible. Doesn't put it out. Oh yeah, there's already some water in there from before that froze. So the goal is to melt it. See, now what I'm doing right now, I'm not cooking. I'm just heating up water because I need some water to wash dishes and wash my hair. I have a ton of bottled water, like gallons of water, but there's so much snow on the ground, I don't want to waste that. I don't want to waste the water that I bought. So I'd like to keep that for emergency situations, and there's an abundance of snow, which is water, obviously. So what I'm going to do is fill this up with some snow. Put it out. Oh, still going. Excellent. All right. Operation Gather Snow. So that's what I'm going to do. If I needed this for drinking water, the good thing is I have a very high-end filter in the gazebo. All right. Yeah, I'm not using this for drinking water right now, but I think what's happening is when the woodpeckers are pecking at the trees, some bark from the trees are just like getting everywhere. I was wondering what that was the other day. Anyway, if I wanted to do this for drinking water, I could. I would melt the snow, and then I would filter it through my BERKEY filter. Well, first I would melt it, and then put it through the BERKEY, and then it would be ready to drink. Let's see. I'm just going to gather some stuff. Alright, I've got to put this about halfway filled. I'm going to put the lid on. Would have been better if I had a cast iron pot. As you can see, this was like perfect and brand new when I started using it, but it definitely got smoked up and black around the edges. But I needed it. So, alright, I'm going to see how that fire's going. Oh yeah. Alright. It's probably going to take a little while, but I'm not in a big hurry, so that's okay. And I'll check back in a little bit. I'll keep my eye on the fire. I have no idea what time it is, but I'm thinking maybe like a half an hour, and I should have some melted water. Even if I can just get the snow melted, that'll be good. I do have a hot plate inside of the gazebo, and that's how I do a lot of my cooking and everything, is just with one little hot plate. So I have electricity in the gazebo, but I like to have other methods that do not rely on electricity or propane for emergency situations. So really happy I got this rocket stove together, and we'll see how it works. Okay guys, so here's a little update. The fire has gone out a couple times. I've had to restart it, and I've realized that I think what the issue is as I mentioned before, there was some water in the pot. It was actually frozen water because it's been in there for months. I just haven't paid attention and I haven't used it. So the water that was frozen is forming like a condensation on the bottom of the pan, and it's dripping into the fire, and I'm pretty sure that is what's going on, and that's why the fire keeps going out. So it's not incredibly important right now that I have to use this rocket stove to melt the water. I might just put the pot aside and do what I normally do, which is melt the water in a pot on top of the hot plate inside of the cabin. But what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to take this pot off, and then just to see if my hypothesis is correct, I have a new cast iron skillet I'm going to bring out here, and I'm going to try, I don't know, maybe I'll fry an egg or something and just see how it works. All right, but you can see the flame going a little bit in there, I think, and well, it was coming out on top as well. But at this point, at this rate, I think it's going to take a while because that water's frozen and it's just dripping and it's putting out the flame. So that'll be, you know, a lesson learned that it's not the best to use with something that's frozen, and hopefully that doesn't happen too often. It's melting on the pot, so this is good. This is good. This is my first time using the cast iron skillet, so I'm excited. Handle's not hot, so that's good. Alright. Let's see. Hope this works. Uh-oh. That's a hard-boiled egg. I had one hard-boiled egg in there. Alright. Interesting. I'll do one more. That yolk kind of went everywhere, and I don't know if that's a bad sign as far as the freshness. Alright, but it is cooking. This is good. This is good. Let's see if I can show you a close-up. Alright, here we have the rocket stove. We've got some eggs cooking. The one on the right, I don't know what happened to that yolk, but you can see that the eggs are cooking. It's snowing out right now, and it took a little while for me to figure things out, but we do have a stove that will cook without any propane, without any electricity, just some dry wood. I'm very excited. So I'm going to take these eggs, I'm going to put it on top of some patatas bravas that I have cooking in the slow cooker inside of the cabin, and we're good to go.